It's 6:30 in the morning, late for me, and I'm making some bacon. Now, I've seen this on YouTube, and nobody gets it quite right, pretty close, but I'll show you how simple it is. And the first thing is the pork bellies. Now, I do 2 pork bellies because, well, I'm a man. And why would I waste time with like a quarter of a pork belly? So, here we go. First thing you do is cut it. And the reason you cut it is because it's too long to fit in a Ziploc bag. So I'll split them in half. That's the first thing you do. I've already put 3 in, but the next thing you do is put them in a Ziploc bag. These are 2-gallon bags. 1 gallon won't quite hold it because these are little pansy pork bellies. That's probably what you would get. The second thing you do, if you cut them where they'll fit in the bag, just put them in the bag. How about that? Genius maneuver. So I've got all 4 of them in bags. The next thing you do is get you some kosher salt and pour it on top of it. Pour it on this side. Pour it on this side. How much? However much you want to put on there. All right. The next thing you do is you put, oops, sorry, I'm doing this holding the brown sugar on it. More than I needed there. Come on the other side. How much brown sugar? However much you want to put on there. You'll get used to it, but let's say if you have to have a measurement, 1/4 cup of salt, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I don't know that that's right. Maybe it's 1/8, maybe it's 1/3 of a cup, but it really doesn't matter as long as you get enough on there, and you'll figure that out. And then you close the wrong button. So I'm at the point where this is over, really. I've put the cut the pork bellies in half, put them in 2-gallon bags, put kosher salt on both sides, put brown sugar on both sides, and this is what I have. Rub them around. I don't know how much kosher salt. Let's say 1/4 cup of kosher salt, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Rub it around on there. I leave the skins on. I'll tell you why in a later video. And then the next step, you put them in a pan. Put them in the refrigerator, and every day flip them over for 6 days. And when you take them out and rinse them off, you have bacon. But there's a little more to it. I'm going to get you some smoked bacon. Bye. I do 6 days, and that's what I have done here. This is 2 pork bellies we got from a restaurant supply. And there were $3.36 a pound, which is the most ever paid for them, but at least it's not $12 a pound. And I'm going to smoke them today.
And all I'm going to do, if I can get them on the pit, which is always difficult, is to smoke them for 1 hour. And these are really big this time. They're not always this big. Now, this Oklahoma Joe is not quite big enough to get 2 full ones on. I could have done 1.5, but I'll move them around a little bit where we get smoke on everything. And let me tell you the problem most people have when they make homemade bacon. When they smoke it, they want to cook it. They want to get it up to a temperature. Don't do that. Just smoke it about an hour. Really even less. Like a little smoldering fire here. It doesn't have to be hot. Don't get it up to a temperature. You don't want to render any of the fat. If you do that, your bacon will burn when you try to fry it. Everybody does it though. For some reason, everybody thinks you got to get it to 140. You don't. It's just a horrible thing. Your bacon's stiff. It's pretty good, but it's going to burn if you try to get it, anything more than just medium cooked. So that's where we're at. It's about 8 a.m. And in about an hour, I'll take this off. Well, here we are, about an hour later. The temperature got up to about 150. It's below 150. It's so low now it's not even registering. But that's all you need. I moved them around from time to time, make sure there's a little smoke on everything. And that's all I need. So I'm going to take them off. They're not hot. In fact, they're kind of cool to the touch on the bottom. And that is all there is to smoking it. We're not smoking it in the classic sense. We're just putting a little smoke flavor on it. I still have the hide on there. There's several reasons it's on there, but I'll split this up and put it in smaller packages and take one of the packages and I'll slice it up with my slicer whenever I need it. And right now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and cool it off totally, packaged up, and freeze it. Maybe slice one up. And that's all right. What I have is 2 blocks of my homemade bacon. They are cured kosher salt and brown sugar. I've shown it on the other video. And what I do is I freeze them. This is about half a pork belly. And while they're completely frozen, I slice them on my cheap Japanese slicer. Now, a lot of people will trim it perfectly, but no matter what you do, that edge piece is not going to be that great. So I look for the grain and I cut against it. That's going to be this way. It does better if the fat sides up. Let's see what happens. So it took about 3 pieces, and you get little bits like that. But now it's kind of smooth edge. So you just slice it up. So, I don't know what I'd cut, 10 or 12 slices. And what I do is I usually just cut it all, and then I flip them around like this. And I'll have me a block of bacon. And then I'll just take a Ziploc bag. Not a Ziploc bag. You can do a Ziploc bag, but I get vacuum bags. And I put them in there like that until I get a certain amount. And when I get ready for one, I'll freeze it again. I'll vacuum seal it, freeze it again, and when it's time, I will come back and open a bag up and use it, and then I'll get another bag out. And it's just a pretty easy way to make bacon that right now it's like $3.25 a pound, but that's not too bad. So I've got it sliced up. I have 3 packages vacuum sealed. I've got one more left. I just line them up like that. And I have that. Also on my cutoffs, I used to put these in soups and stuff, but there's nothing wrong with these, the little short pieces that didn't make a nice piece. I just fry them up in the morning and eat these for breakfast. Anyway, that's about all it is.